The movie begins in Bushwick, New York, where the world-famous illusionists known as the Four Horsemen resurface after being gone for nearly a decade. The crowd is buzzing with excitement as J. Daniel Atlas, Merritt McKinney, Jack Wilder, and Henley Reeves take the stage for a long-awaited comeback performance. To kick off their act, the Horsemen pull a random audience member, Bosco Leroy, into the spotlight. What starts as a harmless trick quickly turns unsettling as they make it appear that Bosco is being possessed right in front of everyone. During the chaos, the Horsemen single out a loud skeptic in the crowd, a crypto influencer named Brett, who openly mocks the performance. In classic Horseman fashion, they flip the tables, exposing Brett and his associates as fraudsters running shady crypto scams. Within moments, their stolen digital assets are traced, seized, and mysteriously redistributed to stunned audience members. As panic sets in, police sirens echo through the venue, forcing the crowd to scatter. Brett attempts to confront the Horsemen, convinced they've ruined him, but when he reaches the stage, he finds nothing but hidden projectors and massive screens. The illusion is revealed: the Horsemen were never physically there at all. Left alone, humiliated, and exposed, Brett can do nothing but scream in rage, while the Horsemen vanish once again, proving they're still several steps ahead of everyone watching. The entire stunt turns out to be a carefully executed con. The heist was actually carried out by Bosco, working alongside his two closest friends, June and Charlie. Using advanced deepfake technology, the trio successfully impersonated the Four Horsemen, pulling off the illusion without ever stepping on stage. Flush with their winnings, the three retreat to a hidden apartment they use as their base of operations, convinced they've fooled everyone. But their celebration is cut short when they discover someone else is already inside. To their shock, J. Daniel Atlas is standing there, calm, composed, and one step ahead. Atlas reveals that he was in the audience the entire time and effortlessly breaks down who they really are. He exposes Bosco as a failed actor drowning in student loan debt, June as a defiant teenager with a deep distrust of authority, and Charlie as a quiet orphan who's spent his life surviving on instinct rather than support. He then drops the final truth: the Horsemen's appearance during the show was a deepfake, and he knows exactly how they did it. Atlas goes on to explain that the Eye has chosen him for a new mission, symbolized by a tarot card, a command to steal the legendary heart diamond. But with the original Horsemen no longer at his side, he needs a new team. Impressed by their skills and boldness, Atlas offers the trio a place in something far bigger than a simple con. With that, a new alliance is formed, one built on deception, talent, and a heist that could change everything. The story then shifts to Limpopo, South Africa, where the legendary heart diamond is under heavy protection. It's controlled by Veronika Vanderberg, a ruthless power player who oversees a massive diamond smuggling empire inherited from her late father, Peter Vanderberg. During a closed-door board meeting, Veronika makes it clear that dissent will not be tolerated. To prove her point, she forces one of the executives opposing her plans to place a razor-sharp diamond inside his mouth. Calmly and coldly, she threatens him, terrifying the man into compliance as he struggles not to swallow it. The message is unmistakable: defy her, and the consequences will be brutal. Later that night, Veronika's control is shaken when she receives an anonymous phone call. The voice on the other end issues a direct ultimatum: hand over the heart diamond, or the darkest secrets behind her empire will be exposed to the world. For the first time, Veronika realizes someone has set their sights on her most prized possession, and they're not afraid to destroy her to get it. Atlas and the three recruits move next to Antwerp, where a high-profile gala is being held to showcase the heart diamond before its upcoming auction. Disguised as a professional photography crew, Bosco, Charlie, and June gain close access by posing as Veronika's media team, snapping staged photos of her ahead of the exhibition. Meanwhile, Atlas plays his own game. Moving effortlessly through the crowd, he takes subtle verbal jabs at Veronika and openly mocks the criminal network backing her operation, making it clear he's not afraid of her power. Once the fake photoshoot wraps up, the four regroup just as the auction begins. That's when the illusion unfolds. In front of everyone, it appears as if the heart diamond suddenly explodes in Veronika's hand, sending shockwaves through the room. In the chaos, Atlas reveals that he's already secured the real diamond. Security moves in immediately, forcing the team to flee. As they race toward the rooftop, they unexpectedly cross paths with Jack, Henley, and Merritt, the original horsemen, who reveal that they, too, received tarot cards from the Eye, just like Atlas. Working together without hesitation, the reunited horsemen execute one final deception, a convincing fake helicopter escape that distracts the guards long enough for them to vanish without a trace. Left behind, Veronika inspects the evidence and finally pieces it together: the horsemen never stole the diamond from the display. They switched the entire case, outplaying her before she even realized the game had begun. With the heist complete, the old and new horsemen regroup aboard a boat, taking a rare moment to breathe and reassess their next move. As tensions ease, personal truths come to the surface. Henley reveals she's built a completely new life, now married with 3 children. Jack admits he was left behind when Lula May moved to Paris, ending their relationship. The conversation soon turns darker as the real reason behind the horsemen's breakup is finally addressed. A past heist went catastrophically wrong, leaving Dylan Rhodes imprisoned in Russia. Overwhelmed by guilt and failure, the group drifted apart, each carrying the weight of that mistake on their own. As the tension lingers, Charlie notices something unusual. When the original horsemen place their tarot cards together, the symbols align, forming a hidden map. The trail leads the 7 horsemen to a secluded estate in France, owned by their longtime ally Thaddeus Bradley. Like the others, Thaddeus has also received a tarot card from the Eye, signaling that he's meant to play a role in what comes next. After navigating the mansion's elaborate traps and illusion-filled defenses, the group finally reaches Thaddeus's private study. While searching the room, Charlie discovers a hidden painting concealing classified documents tied to Veronika's past. The files reveal how she inherited the smuggling empire from her father, his disturbing connections to the Nazis, and the tragic collapse of her family. Her mother's suicide is detailed, followed by reports of a suspicious car crash that killed their housekeeper and her son, later revealed to be caused by sabotaged brakes. The evidence paints a chilling picture, proving Veronika's rise to power was built on secrets, manipulation, and blood, secrets powerful enough to destroy her if exposed. Suddenly, the group hears police sirens closing in on the mansion. With officers swarming the property, the horsemen are forced to split up and escape any way they can. Atlas and Bosco sprint into a rotating hallway, using its shifting walls to disorient pursuing officers and narrowly slip away. Elsewhere, Jack and June duck into a room filled with optical illusions, where changes in perspective make objects appear enormous or tiny depending on where they stand, allowing them to confuse the cops long enough to escape. In another wing of the estate, Merritt, Henley, and Charlie race through a hall of mirrors, vanishing into endless reflections that leave the police chasing shadows instead of people. Back in his private room, Thaddeus Bradley is cornered by officers, only to seemingly vanish through the ceiling. Moments later, he stumbles into Atlas, Bosco, Charlie, and Henley, gravely wounded. He reveals that one of the cops shot him during the escape. Bleeding and fading fast, Thaddeus urges them not to stop, to finish what they started and make sure his sacrifice means something. Heartbroken, Atlas and Henley mourn their fallen friend, but with no time to spare, they force themselves to keep moving. Meanwhile, the escape doesn't go smoothly for everyone. Merritt, Jack, and June are finally surrounded, and taken into police custody. With the team fractured and one ally down, the horseman's greatest illusion begins to unravel. While in custody, Merritt finds himself face to face with Veronika Vanderberg during a private interrogation. Calm and restrained, Merritt uses his mentalist skills to read her reactions, slowly peeling back the truth she tries to hide. He uncovers the real reason behind her mother's suicide. She discovered that Veronika's father was having an affair with their housekeeper. Digging deeper, Merritt strongly implies that Veronika herself sabotaged the housekeeper's car, leading to the fatal crash that killed both her and her son. Though Veronika never admits it, her silence confirms everything. Outside the holding area, guards drag in what appears to be a drunken old beggar woman. As she stumbles forward, she suddenly collapses, breaking her arm in a disturbing and very public way. The injury looks real, but it's all an act. The woman is actually Lula May in disguise, called in by Atlas and Henley to help free their captured teammates. Using the chaos as cover, Lula quickly gets Jack out first. Together, they move through the facility and successfully rescue June. Merritt, however, refuses to flee quietly. He fights off several guards but is ultimately overwhelmed and remains imprisoned. Later, the freed horsemen regroup. Lula admits she feels like an outsider after being away from the team for so long, though it's clear she and Henley already share a connection. With Merritt still captive, tensions rise. Atlas believes the smartest move is to return the heart diamond to Veronika in exchange for Merritt's freedom. But the rest of the horsemen refuse. They're done running, and this time, they're determined to expose Veronika to the world, no matter the cost. The exchange is set in Abu Dhabi, during a lavish party at the Yas Marina circuit, celebrating Veronika's Formula One team. The glamorous setting provides the perfect cover for one final play. Bosco and Charlie slip into the event disguised as photographers, blending seamlessly into the chaos of flashing cameras and high-profile guests. Once inside, Bosco steals a car and tears into the city streets, deliberately drawing police attention and pulling security away from the main exchange. Meanwhile, the horsemen come face to face with Veronika and complete the trade, the heart diamond for Merritt's freedom. For a brief moment, it seems like the plan has worked. But Veronika immediately betrays them, triggering a trapdoor that drops Atlas, Henley, Jack, Merritt, and June into a sealed glass tank. Below, the chamber begins filling with sand, slowly burying them alive. With time running out, Jack spots a pipe overhead and manages to break it, causing water to flood in. The water expands the sand, cracking the glass, but it also makes the tank fill even faster. As panic sets in, Henley pulls off her wedding ring and uses it to score the weakened glass. With help from the others, the horsemen shatter the tank and break free just before it becomes their grave. Elsewhere, Bosco's distraction turns into a full-blown chase through the streets. Eventually surrounded and captured, he's loaded into a van by Veronika's men. But Bosco refuses to stay down. He slips out of his cuffs, fights back inside the moving vehicle, and forces it to crash, escaping once again by sheer nerve and timing. With Veronika's plan collapsing and the horsemen surviving yet another impossible trap, the final act is set in motion. Veronika finally agrees to meet the anonymous blackmailer to hand over the heart diamond. But when she arrives, the truth hits her hard. The mysterious caller is Charlie himself. Charlie reveals the secret Veronika has spent her life burying. He is her half-brother, the result of Peter Vanderberg's affair with his mother. Years earlier, Charlie survived the car crash that killed his mother, and he always knew the truth. The accident wasn't random. It was Veronika's revenge, punishment for her mother's suicide. Furious and exposed, Veronika pulls the trigger and shoots Charlie. He collapses, but moments later, it's revealed the gun was loaded with blanks. Suddenly, the walls of the room fall away, exposing a massive audience watching everything unfold. The entire confrontation was an illusion. Charlie and his allies orchestrated the setup to publicly unmask Veronika once and for all. It's revealed that Charlie was the true mastermind from the beginning, the one who summoned the horsemen, guided the tarot cards, and even planted the evidence hidden inside Thaddeus Bradley's mansion. With nowhere left to hide, Veronika's crimes are laid bare. Her family's Nazi ties, multiple murders, attempted killings, and decades of corruption. Authorities move in, and Veronika is finally arrested in front of the world. Turning to the crowd, Charlie announces his final move. As Peter Vanderberg's only non-incarcerated heir, he vows to sell the heart diamond and return its wealth to the people of South Africa, redistributing what the Vanderbergs stole from them. The crowd erupts in applause as justice, at last, is served. Sometime later, the now 8 horsemen reunite at the apartment shared by Bosco, June, and Charlie. As the tension fades, new beginnings take shape. Henley, Lula, and June joke about forming an all-female magician group, while Jack and Lula finally reconcile. Just as the night winds down, a mysterious package arrives. Inside is a hologram message from Dylan Rhodes. He reveals the final twist: his imprisonment was staged all along. Welcoming Bosco, June, and Charlie into the eye, Dylan makes one thing clear: the illusion is far from over. The horsemen's work has only just begun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more thrilling movie breakdowns, twists, and heist adventures.